welcome to today's lesson. This is a continuation of what we learned in the previous weeks where we spoke about relations and the various types of relations. So we are talking about one kind of a relation that we call a function. So when we say a function is a kind of a relation such that each element of the domain is paired with exactly one element of the range. Exactly, or we could say only one elements of the range. So we can say, let's just relate some of the things we learned last week to the definition here. The domain, which is the x or the input, and then the range in this case would be the y or the output. So let us draw a typical box set showing this. So we have this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe A, B, C, D, E, F, and then G. So when it's going to be a function, it should map to only one. This one. So if an element in the domain or the x maps to only one in the codomain, in this case the range, we call this a function. Now it's very important that we have a system to test for graphs to know whether they are functions or not. So this function test is actually called the vertical line test. The vertical line test. And what this shows is that when I'm giving a graph like what I have here, I have about 1, 2, 3, 6 different graphs here. Now we want to find out whether the graph is a function or not. And what we have to do is I will draw a straight line. So the vertical line, we draw a vertical line. Draw a vertical line this way through various portions of the graph. So I draw vertical lines. Now, if the vertical line meets the x coordinates at just only one point, it is a function. So from here you can see that it meets it at just one. The x value has only, this x value has only one y value. This x value also has only one and only one. So we can therefore say that it is a function. I'll quickly move to one which is not a function so that we can now see the difference. So this number one is a function. And then let's try this other one. Now we should draw a vertical line through this. You realize that if you have an x value here, it has more than one y value, or it has more than one output. So let's assume that this is a number like 2. You can see that it has a value at this side, maybe -3 and then +3. So just this x value has more than one x. This x value has more than one y value. Therefore, this is not a function. Alright, you can even pause the video to try for the second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, now let's see. Let's try for the second one too. I rule my line this way to as many parts as possible. As many parts as possible that I rule my line, realize that the same, each x value has only one y. Only one y value. Each x value has only one y value. And let's try for this as well. When I take a vertical line through this, you can see that every single x value has only one y value. So we can say this is a function. This is also a function. And then let's try for this as well. when I draw my vertical line this way, sorry, my hands, okay, yeah. So you realize that each x value here has more than, each x value has more than one y value. It has a value here, for example, this has a value here, and then another value here. This also has a value here, another value here. Therefore, this is not, the fourth graph is not a function. Okay, so the fifth one also, let's just give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can see that every x value has only one y value. Can see that, yeah. So this is simply how we test for functions using the vertical line approach. We'll use other approaches in the coming lessons to test for functions. So catch you in the next lesson. Have a nice day. Bye.